Good morning, everybody. Disclaimer: the noise in the background that you hear is my heater. It's really cold today, but let's get straight into it. The chapter that I want to read today is Proverbs 23. When you sit down to eat with the ruler, consider carefully what it is before you, and put a knife to your throat. If you are a man given to appetite, do not desire his delicacies, for they are deceptive food. I'm gonna reread this because I didn't read to comprehend. I definitely read incorrectly. Okay. When you sit down to eat with the ruler, consider carefully what is before you, and put a knife to your throat. If you are a man given to appetite, do not desire his delicacies, for they are deceptive food. Okay, don't be fooled is what I got out of that scripture. Okay. Do not overwork to be rich, because of your own understanding sees. That is crazy. I never knew that was in the Bible, but I just feel like that's crazy. I feel like everybody overworks themselves, and it's sad because the world revolves around money. Anything that you want in life, you could have it if you had the right amount of money, or if you were successful enough, you could be content with your life if you aren't without what you don't have. Well, you set your eyes on that which is not, for riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away like an eagle toward heaven. Will you set your eyes on that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away like an eagle toward heaven. Okay, that's crazy that when you read something one time you don't understand it, then the second time it clicks. That is how I feel like life is. You can hear something so many times, but until you go through it, you will never understand. And it's not even our fault. It's that people want to be hard-headed and learn from experience rather than word of mouth or help or advice. But I get this now. Basically, look towards what is in front of you and stop wanting, not even stop wanting more, stop wanting extra, like just everything, because I'm definitely guilty of that. I feel like every time I see something, like, oh, I'm gonna do that, and I start getting on the track to do that, which is overworking myself. But I always thought that was a good thing, but I guess that's a sin to continuously want to have a different goal every single day. I feel like you should just be working on one thing and having faith that that one thing is going to pay off. They fly away like an eagle toward heaven. Basically, the more you chase something, the harder it is going to be to get it, because it's just going to keep running. You go get here, keep running. It's just going to keep going. Do not eat bread of a miser. Pretty sure it says miser. Do not eat the bread of a miser, nor desire his delicacies. For as he thinks in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, he says to you, but his heart is not with you. The morsel you have eaten, you will vomit up, and waste your pleasant words. I think this is basically the saying, don't sit tea with an enemy. But the thing is, it's really hard to know who is with you and who is not, who loves you, who does not. It's really hard to differentiate the two these days, but with God's help, I cannot think of the word right now, but I know that word that always, if you just ask him, he'll do it for you, to let you know if this person is for you or not. Do not speak in the hearing of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of your words. I feel like this all the time. I feel like when I'm talking, since I'm so young, I know that I'm making sense, but my intellect is so high that it goes over all of the adults around me's mind that they want to basically belittle anything that I'm trying to say. I'm going to read it again. Do not speak in the hearing of a fool, as in if somebody that you think is a fool is listening, just keep it to yourself. For he will despise the wisdom of your words, will make you feel less than you are, because I definitely firsthand understand this and have experienced this. You could be saying something that you know is true, that you know that they know is true, but because it sounds so good and it's coming from my mouth, as in somebody's mouth you probably don't want to hear it from, you're gonna just push it away and like refuse to understand the message, which I'm guilty of that. If somebody is a messenger that I feel like, oh, I don't like them, or I don't want to hear from them, or they're not a good person, I will miss up on a good blessing, opportunity, a good word, because of me trying to just judge the fact that they're not a good person instead of listening to their words. Do not remove the ancient landmark, nor enter the fields of the fatherless, for their Redeemer is mighty. He will plead their cause against you. Do not remove the ancient landmark, nor enter the fields of the fatherless, for their Redeemer is mighty. He will plead their cause against you. I don't understand this. Proverbs 23:11. Yeah. Somebody help me out. I don't understand that. Apply your heart to instruction and your ears to words of knowledge. Do not withhold correction from a child, for if you beat him with a rod, he will not die. You shall beat him with a rod and deliver his soul from hell. Apply your heart to instruction and your ears to words of knowledge. Basically, take direction, listen, understand that some people in life are trying to help you, which I definitely understand. I've always understood that, but you have to realize if you're coming off disrespectfully, no matter who you are never gonna get the respect or the time of day when it comes to me. You have to come to me as a human being with your words. Do not withhold correction from a child, for if you beat him with a rod, he will not die. You shall beat him with a rod and deliver his soul from hell. Okay, we're gonna be worldly real quick. I've always been like, beating kids is wrong. No, sorry. That's one thing I've been wrong about. I'm not wrong about many things, but I got beat, and I'm perfectly fine. So these kids need to get beat every day, even if they didn't do nothing. I'm sorry, because I don't know what is going on, but it is embarrassing and disappointing to see how every child my age and younger acts. It's disgusting, honestly. Truthfully, I just don't understand it. Even 25-year-olds that I know, you can tell they didn't get beat enough. That child will not die. Beat them, and while you're beating them, talk to them. Don't just beat them for no reason. That's called abuse. My son, if your heart is wise, my heart will rejoice indeed, I myself. Yes, the inmost being will rejoice when your lips speak right things. I read that wrong. Let me do it again. Okay. My son, if your heart is wise, my heart will rejoice indeed, I myself. Yes, my inmost being will rejoice when your lips speak right things. I feel like this is like, I don't know how I keep picking the most scriptures that speak to me. Or if it's something, no, because I've been to church sometimes and I'm like, this has nothing to do with me. But there are those Sundays that is like, were you following me? Because that's how this Bible study for me has been going. If basically, if you're doing right in God's eyes, following his words, he will rejoice. And I feel like that's how I've been getting treated this last, I'm just gonna say week. This week, I've had nothing but good news, and I thank God for that. Do not let your heart envy sinners. Okay, we're gonna stop there. Lord, please stop allowing me to envy at all. The smallest things will make me want what I see. I don't even think the word is like, I want it because you have it, or like, what? I don't think the word is jealous. I think it's more of, I just want more. So whenever I see somebody with stuff, it's not even, that's what I'm saying, it's not even materialistic. It's somebody's actions. If I see somebody that's a calm person, I study them to a T, and I'm like, I'm trying to be like you. Or if I see somebody who keeps getting blessed, I just study them, and I feel like that is envious because it's something that I don't have that you have that I want. And I don't know if that's a bad thing, but it's usually good things that I strive to get from others. But be zealous for the fear of the Lord all day. I never understood this, why you're supposed to fear the Lord, but I think I understand it now. It's like, he is your maker. He can take you away any day. He has the power to do anything he wants to. Like, that is something you should fear, but it's just, I don't know if fear is the correct word for my generation. You should say respect, because people definitely confuse respect with fear, because I never really had respect for people just because they were older than me. I was scared of them, as in I feared them. I am scared of God, but when you say fear, it makes me think it doesn't go through our minds the correct way. And I'm speaking for my generation because I've had this conversation multiple times where people would talk about the Bible, this, like, I've never been a person to speak my opinion, but it's because the way that it's written, we get offended. But it makes sense if you replace some words. If they said, but be zealous for the respect of the Lord all day, we could all be like, oh yeah, respect the Lord all day. And I get why it says fear, but respect is something that I can explain better. Basically, live through your Father. All your actions are reflecting on him. So whatever you do is showing the image of him, if that makes sense. So basically just take that in mind with everything you do. I've always said I wouldn't do anything that I don't want my future kids seeing. But it's the same with God. I wouldn't want to do anything that I feel like God would be mad at me for doing. Like, for surely there is a hereafter, and your hope will not be cut off. I don't know what hereafter is, so I don't know if I can speak on this verse. Hear, my son, and be wise, and guide your heart in the way. Do not mix with wine bibblers or gluttonous eaters of meat, for the drunkard and the glutton will come to poverty, and drowsiness will clothe a man with rags. Yeah, that is something. Hear, my son, and be wise, and guide your heart in the way. That is so crazy, because I don't agree with the gluttony, which is why I starve myself, which is not even better. But I feel like when I'm eating too much, I'm like, oh, this is wrong. I also don't agree with, you call me a hypocrite, whatever, I don't agree with drinking. I don't agree with drinking in itself, but sometimes you just have to realize that's better than whatever else. But I don't anymore. But this, for the drunkard and the glutton, will come to poverty. That's kind of why. When you realize that something is bothering you and you can actually snap out of it, is because you were never addicted, or you were never actually doing wrong on purpose. It's those who realize that, oh, this is bothering me, and they continue. That's called a drunk, an alcoholic. You're addicted. Or a glutton. That's called fat. You have to stop taking offense to words like that, but it's the truth. You are fat if you just continuously eat and find nothing wrong with it. You are an alcoholic if you continuously drink or smoke. I don't know what the word for that is. I don't know what the real word for somebody who just continuously smokes and sees no problem with it. And drowsiness will clothe a man with rags. Yeah, because eventually you're going to get tired of it, or eventually you're not going to have access to it, and then you're just going to be bored with life, and you're not going to know anything past your addiction. Listen to your father who begot you. Yes. And do not despise your mother when she is old. Buy the truth and do not sell it. Also, wisdom and instruction are understanding. Exactly. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad. Okay. Listen to your father for who begot you. I'm pretty sure this is your elders. Definitely listen. But do you have to put up with the disrespect? That is not what this is saying, okay? And do not despise your mother when she is old. Okay. Buy the truth and do not sell it. I've had a debate about this. Buy the truth and do not sell it. Exactly. Wisdom should not have a cost. That's all I'm going to say. The father of the... Wait. Oh, also wisdom and instruction are understanding. Exactly. Also wisdom and instruction and understanding. I don't know why I kept saying are, but in understanding. I'm glad they have that word, understanding, because if you don't understand, you cannot move past anything that a person is trying to tell you. People will keep talking to you and you keep saying you don't understand, and they'll just be like, okay, you'll understand one day. No, that's not right. Explain it right then and there. You cannot take it and run with it if you don't understand it. You cannot follow instructions correctly if you don't understand. You're just gonna be doing and going through life. Why would you want your child going through life doing things just because they're told to? You never know what situation they could be put in that they're doing something just because they're told to. The father of the righteous will greatly rejoice, and he who begets a wise child will delight in him. Let your father and your mother be glad, and let her rejoice who bore you rejoice. The father of the righteous will greatly rejoice. Yeah, me. And he who begets a wise child will delight in him. Okay. Let your father and your mother be glad. Basically, make them proud. And let her who bore you rejoice. I definitely agree with that. To make your parents proud, or not even parents, anybody that's around you rooting for you, make them proud. But the problem with that is, some people don't have anybody rooting for them. We're going to end this saying anything that you're thankful for that is going right in your life. Everything's going right in my life right now. So I don't really have anything to say specifically. Mostly my career. I'm really thankful for my career. Okay, last thing before you guys can go. Everybody has to start somewhere. I'm going to forever say this. Everybody has to start somewhere, and you cannot judge anybody for when they start, where they start, how they start. Everybody has to turn to God, but those who haven't have a reason. So stop forcing it onto them. Instead, be the person that they need, and they will turn to Him on their own. So thank you guys for watching my Bible study. It's only been one day since I did this one, but next week I definitely still got y'all. So thank you for watching. I hope this was enjoyable.